I will not have happened yet. Instead, I regret to inform you I must take a puff of this cigarette.
Ooh, it's poetry now.
The song starts here with a story quite queer. The freshman class at last rises up from the grave and they say, I'm here to stay.
Except they're in the back.
Well, that rhymed. And even through Julie's attack, I can go forward. Not to daunt, not to start, not to roll larkin on a heart. And yet Brother Richard sits here and he says, Dear Joey, where are you going? Are you a man in a boat not looking where he's rowing? And so we start with the freshmen, these lesser people, who sit here and say, oh my God, what a magnificent steeple the integral program has. And we go to the sophomores. A chorus not right. They like to pretend. They know Plato and Aristotle, right? Read human language, they say. Yeah, well, welcome to the juniors because you realize you don't know what the hell you're talking about one day. Then you get to the seniors, a class I can't take credit for, although I adore many of them. And in respect, they must say, Joe, you, I kind of think you're weird, and I would rather forget your memory because you can't rhyme. But I put a tequila with the lime in a Coke and I say, well, one day, gentlemen and ladies, I will miss you. And so, heyday, Mayday, Mayfest, let us rest and never test because I vow to you all, and the senior class is now, well, simply the best.
Look at him, Silly!
Romanticize Plato and his depiction of Socrates, and we offer here what actually happened on his final days. Socrates died, the most noble man of this time. And with that, I tell you, go and philosophize. Hey, what's up? How you doing, man? Listening to that story? Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the story? Which story? The story I just told you to get Echecrates. What about Socrates? What I just said about Socrates, yeah. Was it real? Did it really go down like that? I was just telling Echecrates, you know, to get him out of this whole, you know, Pythagorean thing, you know, people like that are weird. What really happened? What actually went down? Don't give me any nonsense. Tell me what really happened. All right. What really went down was this. I, Credo Socrates, I'm sad. Why Credo, I'm rubbing my feet and learning things about it. How pain and pleasure relate to me. That's cool, man, but you're gonna die. No. I mean, you know, like, what do you mean I'm gonna die? That boat came back today, dude.
That boat came back today.
We're talking about, remember we were drinking wine yesterday and talking about how it was coming back today? Yeah, man, we were having a good time hanging out. What do you mean the boat's coming back today? Freedom! Every year they kill somebody when the boat comes back. It's coming back today! What happened to everything you were saying yesterday about following the laws and about being, you know, a good philosopher? I was drinking, man. I was having a good time. It's coming back today. Coming back today? What happened yesterday? You just, remember that? Oh my God. Think of Plato, how much he looks up to you. I mean, speak all those damn stories you read. Safety, shut up. I'm talking to Trina. What do you want me to do, bro? I said all my men to take care of something to go over Thebes. There's nobody here. You said you had. Where's your boy from Thebes? Huh? You talk big, Trina. You talking big, you big lawyer? Where's your boy?
George, you can do it.
That's a sexy man I ever sure would. So when we think of the question, why to stay in integral, I think the question is mainly addressed towards the freshmen and the sophomores because you guys are the ones who, at this point, can decide whether or not you stay in the program. And speaking from 4 years of experience, I will say it's an ebb and flow from less and less. So let's think about it. Freshman year, you're looking at things, right? You're looking at geometry. You're looking at birds. You're looking at trees. You're looking at the Greek language, probably the first time you've ever seen the language. And then in seminar, you're looking at Plato, Aristotle, a lot of different philosophers. So at this point, it could be love or lust, right? You don't know quite yet. You're looking at the learning, as Ian was saying. So now you move into sophomore year, all right? You're a little more confident. You know, now you're starting to do Ptolemy. You're starting to see how geometry plays in the real world. In seminar, you might be reading Machiavelli, different things like that. So you're getting a little bit confidence. Great Greek language. You know this shit. You know the parsing. You know how to do all these things. You might even be reciting it a little bit too. And then even if you look in your lab class, so what are you doing in lab? You don't even have a lab class. You have a music class. See, that's the thing. So, and then you're getting the rhythm, like Omar was saying. Okay, so at this point again, it's probably a little bit of lust at this point, right, for sophomore year, because you're feeling confident. You think that you know a lot of different things. That's how I felt sophomore year. I felt very confident. It was lust at that point. You know, no test and integral. It looks pretty good. You're going to stay to junior year, right? So then you get into junior year. That's when things really get started. All right. So math class, you're looking at Descartes. You're looking at a lot more difficult things. So it wasn't quite what you had seen before. Seminar class, you're starting to look at American literature, something that you might not have seen before, but again, you have a background of Greek and Roman and classical knowledge that you're looking at too. Lab class, junior year, you're making wine, so again, that kind of moves more towards the lust, right? And then, let's see, what other class do we still have?
Language.
Lab, we got seminar, language. So now you're looking at poetry, right? So poetry's kind of getting into that love, right? You're not, when you're saying a poem, you're not doing it for lust, you're doing it for love, right? Something that you feel within yourself. Okay. So again, you see this ebb and flow. Love, lust, freshman year. Sophomore year, you gain a little bit confident, you gain into lust, but then once you get to junior year, you get this love that you got, right? So now looking at senior year, and I have a unique perspective on this, as with my class here today. Senior year, everything shatters. Euclid is no longer something that is totally truthful, right? You look at Lobachevsky, you got parallel lines that intersect, and you don't know what to do with it, right? Language class, you're reading Kant and Hegel, which really wrap your mind, and I still don't quite understand all of it. And then you read Moby Dick, which a lot of people think is a boy's book, but again, it's really a book about your life, about love. Let's see, what other class we got? We got seminar. We're about to end with the Phaedrus, but again, we've read a lot of modern-day books, stuff that you might have read in high school, but again, you're coming around to seeing it in a different way. Let me see, what class did we use?
Lab.
Oh, how could I forget lab? You're going to start counting flies, all right? It's a labor of love to count those flies, all right? You got 20,000 flies, you can't keep them all together. You're looking at genetics, you're looking at stuff that you don't quite understand, but you still stay in it. So I guess what I would say is once you get to senior year, and you look back, as I'm doing today, you see the love that you have for learning at the integral program. Now, for sophomores, juniors, and seniors, you guys are going to see the lust of the program. There's a lot of great things about the program that feel good. But really what you want to stay in is the love of learning. And looking back on my 4 years, I can say that it's all about love in the integral program. And if you stay in the integral program, you'll have a love for learning that will last your entire lifetime. Thank you very much.
QED!
This is the traditional farewell to the seniors, usually given by Mr. Courtwright, who's partaking of the Eleusinian mysteries today. He's involved in studying the afterlife, so I decided what we might do is consider the afterlife of each of these citizens of the senior class. Now, because they're still studying the Phaedrus, they didn't get it the first time or the second time. They got to do it for the third time. And each of them has chosen, according to the Phaedrus, one of the 12 Olympians in whose train or procession they will follow in their mystical future development on their road toward death. Now, there's too many of them for all 12 Olympian gods, so we'll make some compromises as we go
Use
through
the Roman gods.
But let's start with let's start with the follower of the god Poseidon, Isaiah Boise.
Stand up, sir.
Not only has he been at sea for 4 years of his college career, never seeing the clear harbor of a safe senior thesis topic. But he's soon going to have to ship out on his own Pequod as he hunts for his destiny. The follower of Poseidon. You can stay over there, though. Don't go backwards. Now, I may leave out the names of some gods, so I'm going to ask you who's missing in a little while. Some of these people you might think of as obviously followers of this or that god, but there are mysteries here. So let's start with a follower of Heracles. We let Heracles into the pantheon because he, like one other mortal, attained divinity in the Greek sequence. There's some other guys that tried the same thing. But the follower of Heracles is J. Itagaki. Takes on all tasks which have been charged to him by the vengeful female goddess Hera. But his tireless labors so far have, let's see, in relation to his senior essay, proven him a worthy worshiper of Heracles as he tried to link not goodness and truth just to beauty, but also to strength. A follower of Heracles.
He looks good while he's doing it.
Let's take a look at a very surprising follower of Ares. Any guesses?
Sure.
Where is he? Tim Evans. The follower of Ares.
I thought Ares won war.
You remember Ares in the Iliad? He fought on both sides. He didn't know which side he was on. We also know that Ares, the patron of all warriors, is therefore the patron of Krishna as he lifted the 7 veils of wisdom, one after another, in his battle for being. The follower of Ares. Now let's see. The follower of Demeter, the earth goddess, Mother Earth Demeter. It's, where's she? Amanda.
You got it wrong. Well, the earth makes beer.
Demeter makes everything grow on the earth. All the crops, the cultivated and the uncultivated.
Green.
Especially the uncultivated. And so you can tell this in Amanda's writing, where she sows the seeds of as many authors as can be quoted in the same senior essay.
Yeah, I know.
Riles up here.
In linking together that growth principle with which you can see the vines with which she's already succeeded in tangling the heads of these her fellow classmates. The follower of Demeter. Eight or so Olympians left. I wonder who's missing. Anybody missing that you can think of?
Jonathan!
I mean among the Greek gods. Let's try Iris, especially drafted for this production since we ran out of 12 Olympians. Iris is the daughter of wonder and the goddess, well, of the rainbow, right? Like in Spanish, arco iris, the arc of Iris. Caitlin, back. Yeah. 4 years in this class, after the storms and the bluster of the bavardage and excessive verbiage in their combats with one another, like a storm hovering over the seminar room, bursting with torrents of talking about her classmates, and after they're done and silent, and Katie finally gets a chance to talk, the clouds break loose, and the rainbow comes over the clouds. Things finally become clear. Now this follower of the gods has taken on the god Apollo, the god of public life, civic and cultural, archery, medicine, music, and prophecy. He is a sort of a peacemaker, but when he needs to, he unstrings the bow and takes his foe out, and that is Greg Ertl. Follower of Apollo. Who's left? I mean Greek gods. You've learned any of those Greek gods?
Artemis, Hera.
Okay, let's go with Artemis. Now Artemis is a huntress. She looks for that target, and she takes aim and carefully slays the target each time. But she herself is the target of many of her classmates, whom she keeps at a distance with her skill with that bow. And that is Anna Johnson. Where is she? Artemis. Now, Plato tells us a little bit about this in the Phaedrus. The followers of the gods, they seek followers like themselves, and they're likely sometimes to get each other in trouble. And this can especially be the case when we get to a goddess like Aphrodite. Now, in the senior class, there's someone whom everybody sort of tries to control, but nobody can take full control of Shahar Fleming. Follower of Aphrodite.
You make that in the Christian way. What's up, dog? What's up, dog?
We got a few Olympians left. I want you to meet now. Well, the follower of Hades. In his senior essay, goes into the underworld of his own personal soul and takes us on a trip through this strange land. Tom Cohen.
It's hot now.
Shoot that bow.
So can you guess who these other people might be? Let's see. Let's go with.
No, we haven't.
Let's go with Hephaestus, the craftsman god, the skillful builder of arguments. He's so involved with his work that he finds work entertaining. In fact, he finds everything entertaining in his name.
I wonder this is.
George, get up there. You're the follower of Mayfest. So who's missing? No Zeus. There's no Zeus.
Rhea.
Bacchus.
Rhea. Uranus. Hyperion.
Now you hear of, you hear of the power of Zeus. He with the grandest overview of all of the other gods and all of the arts and sciences. And if you want to find out how he thinks, you need to read that senior essay written by Christian Tineo, follower of Zeus. And Zeus, the consort of Zeus, of course, is Hera, the goddess whose name we associate with of the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air, which starts with A, as does Ashley Kerner. Okay, we have two divinities, two followers of in the trains of just two more divinities, and Plato makes a point of saying, besides the 12 famous Olympians, there's a 13th one who takes priority over all of them, and that is the goddess Hestia. Hestia is the goddess of, the fireplace.
Joey's the goddess?
One student, this student has been trying to light a fire under her soggy classmates for 4 straight years. Jack Liberty. One guy left. What? Dionysus? No, Zeus. I know he's Zeus. He had to create a kind of special category here, thinking of the, it's sort of a divinity, but his main job is that of a teacher. He's part human, it seems. And as the instructor of the god Bacchus, he's also part beast Silenus. Now there they all. I did leave out some gods. I heard about Dionysus. He's not here. And notably missing from this group, especially the readers of the Phaedrus, is Eros. And that's because they all worship both those gods. some other tutors up there with them too.
Wait, tutors and all?